her story. I'm giving you her story now. I'm telling you her story is when women ruled in gardens during prehistoric time and you didn't need to go hunt no animals. You was a vegan, eating healthy. And the women gave us fruits. They turned around and corrupted it and said the woman gave you the fruit and messed everything up now in the garden. That ain't what happened. The gardeners of the garden were the women who took care of the plants, and it was plentiful. And they didn't want you going hunting the animals. They would get mad. So the males started killing the animals. The women didn't like that. They was connected with nature. This is why most women who eat meat today couldn't go slaughter their own meat. It's a bunch of males in them slaughterhouses killing them animals. Very rare role for women. You see women doing more stuff with the fruits and the plants. Why is it like this? You can prove that what I'm telling you is true because we see these remnants that I'm pointing out. Women are the number one teachers. Most teachers in the world are women because they was the first teachers in prehistoric time teaching all of the males about the plants, the seeds, and all of that. Then the males took over to teach everybody about the hunting and how to shoot and kill the animals.
So in these few slides, the only thing I want to point out to you is just the spirit of hunting and how ever since the beginning of the male hunters, they went out in groups. And this was your first male cults or secret society. When those original hunters left the village, they discussed things to control the village and how they was going to manipulate the power structure based on their catching and based on the people relying on their hunting. They spoke in secret when they went out to the field. So not only did they hunt the animals, they planned the control mechanisms. So those first hunting groups were the first male cults that led up to Upper and Lower Egypt. But what I wanted to point out to you is that the women wasn't cool with hunting in the beginning, and they wasn't cool with being demoted as the gardeners who ran the old world. But our hunger for meat over time created the world we see, where males dominate on the world that's really sustaining itself by the massive genocide of the animals, aka Mother Nature. All these animal species are cells of the earth, and they were here to play divine roles. So is the humans, but we're all disconnected from the earth because we're hunting each other and eating each other. The NWO is a form of vampirism, and you can see these rituals acted out in the religions. But what I wanted to point out to you is one ritual that the hunters did was they kept the horns and the antlers of their catchings. And that's very symbolic because the horns, as you can see in these pictures here, became associated with the goddess, and they were always associated with the goddess. When you look at these new age goddesses with the deer horns on their head, it's the equivalent of looking at the prehistoric mother goddess with her hands raised. The hands raised is equivalent to the deer horns, and also some goddesses will have the angel wings sticking up. It's going to always be the same concept. But anyway, the deer horns became the symbol of hunting in today's world. Isn't that something? In this man world, which is ruled by male dictatorship and the destruction of Mother Nature, you can see that a lot of the Greek goddesses during this time, the mythology was changed to make those goddesses that carry the archbow become goddesses who support hunting in this male world. So the woman was demoted again in the mythology, where we see that the goddess was reduced to accept hunting now, and she was cool with her demoted role beneath the god. because the God ruled over the earth and she ruled over things like hunting, things she would originally reject. So the world is backwards and it's very twisted today. And you know that it's backwards when you go into the grocery store, for example, and you look at a can of tuna and you see the actual tuna drawn onto the can as a cartoon character smiling as if he wants you to eat him, as if he wants to be hunted, as if he wants his species exterminated and preyed upon by us human vampires with our NWO mentality. They have to sell you this mentality. So you notice they would have the cows painted on the milk carton, smiling as if the cows want to be tortured in the slaughterhouse and used for their milk, which is really for their calf. But I just wanted to point this slide out to show you the horns became the symbol of hunting and everything is flipped today. So Eve in the garden giving Adam the apple was showing him the proper way to live in the garden, but that became the curse because of the patriarchal God that created this bogus story to rise to power as the leaders of the world religions today, which is dominated by male gods who condone the destruction of nature.